Hi everyone, Bandanner here, and welcome back to the SD League monthly WARNO tournament for Feb 2024. Today we are back with Bulba and BottomFeeder for their second game. BottomFeeder over on the left in blue this time, playing as the 2nd British Infantry, and over on the right in red we have Bulba playing as the 7th. Bulba, why do you always pick weird divisions? So weird still, the 7th. But anyhow, let's have a look at what Bulba has down. We've got a BRM-1 recon vehicle heading up here, just kind of having eyes on. Interesting. Nothing else getting further in terms of recon there. We've got Clara over here, just heading into that building, and then the vehicle heading over that way. At the back here, we've got a few Zischerungs, which are heading up, kind of spreading around here, more defensively than anything else by the looks of it. And then we have a huge wall of units here. So we've got a couple of Cubs, we've got a command. We've got munitions, we've got BMP-1s times 5 with Motschützen. We've got 3 T-72Ms. And oh, it's going all over the place. Oh, wow. So that's the command is heading over here and then back across here and up to Lima, not up to the front. And everything else is kind of spreading out around Oscar. This seems excessively defensive from Bulba here. I'm not sure what to expect. This is going to be a weird game. Okay. I mean, he's taking Lima, but he's not pushing Oscar and he's not pushing Zulu. This seems very defensive. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Over at this side, we have all 6 SAS pushing aggressively through Zulu and towards Lima. 3 here and 3 up here by the looks of it. We also have some Jaeger and a couple of Foxes also heading through here, so pretty aggressive at Zulu. At the back here we have an 81mm mortar, 2 HSF, a Milan 2, and a command. The command heading into Alpha and then up to Zulu. Everything else sort of pushing up towards Lima. And this far side we've got a Jaeger Clara pushing into here. And we've got a couple of HSF pushing up here defensively. And we have a command and a javelin also heading over here. So, neither player is going into Oscar, which is really unusual. Like, really unusual. And BottomFeeder is heavily pushing Lima. And I don't think there'll be enough there to stop him from Bulba's side. So, Bulba really needs to push Oscar hard and then possibly move on to X-Ray. We'll see if that pans out that way. Let's get this show on the road. We'll switch over to the controller. This feels like a strange decision for openers for Bulba. I think not pushing either side at all is very risky. He certainly has units. I assume he's scared of the SAS. And they're strong units, don't get me wrong. But if you push one side hard, then you should still overwhelm them, hopefully. Especially using some cheap-ish aircraft. You know, a couple of cheap bombers could easily wipe out multiple SAS squads. Early skirmishing is going to be down here. Between the SAS, I expect, and the Clara there. And the Zischerungs don't pose a huge threat to the SAS, I guess. Foxes will not want to get too close because they will be at risk from infantry. I'm genuinely still surprised that neither player is going into the top point here. Oscar. I'm assuming Bulba will push in there pretty sharpish. The early skirmishing commences down here. Now the SAS should technically win this fight because they outnumber the opponents and they have fire support from Saxons and a Fox back here. Foxes are pretty good at fire support, never to be underestimated. Here comes the first aircraft, HE bomber going in for some SAS, gets a kill. No, what? No! The MiG-21 goes down, but does not manage to kill either squad in that building. The changes to building damage really having an effect there. For me, both the SAS and the Jaeger should have been slaughtered by those bombs. That's a rough outcome for Bulba. SAS pushing across the open ground here, not under too much threat, not taking too many losses. Saxons providing great fire support, looking pretty good here. Over at the other side, Bulba has realised he needs to push into that point and is making the move. There is nothing there to stop him. There is literally nothing from BottomFeeder in there. Another MiG-21 comes in, but is taken out by the SAS. Manages to kill one squad of SAS. This is getting expensive for Bulba. Another bomber coming in. Another squad of SAS. No, it's a HSF squad and a Saxon. Not even an SAS squad down here. T-72 is moving across here to try and engage the SAS. But BottomFeeder has control of this side of the map now. The question is, can he hold it? He's playing pretty carefully with the SAS in general. His command going straight into that point now. Currently +3 to BottomFeeder. Will still be positive for BottomFeeder by the end of this. Challenger Mark II command tank coming in at this side now. Going to deal with the T-72s, I assume. I expect that won't be the last Challenger we see. Got more HSF coming in. They're not the best units, but some people do still seem to like them. Spin us around and have a look from Bulba's point of view here. The reality is that with this +4, Bulba needs to be aggressive here. He needs to take some ground, as he's in quite a difficult position. Because once the Challenger Mark II start rolling in, they will pose a fairly big threat to those T-72s. And unfortunately for Bulba, he can't muster anything better than the T-72s. So he'd have to rely on aircraft to deal with the Challengers, realistically, or overwhelming force. Bulba also hasn't pushed any advantage to make it to that back point, which is currently only covered by the Jaeger auf Clara, a Javelin, and the command sat in there. Obviously, a push over that way would really distract BottomFeeder. Reinforcements trying to come in from this side. Helicopters coming in. Not the best choice against all of those SAS. Smoke being used over at this side to cover for those tanks coming in. It's a good push here from Bulba, but obviously the SAS pose a big threat. And that Challenger Mark II showing exactly why it is that much stronger than the T-72s. And the T-72 is not faring very well against the SAS either. That Challenger Mark II is absolutely fine in this situation. Missing a lot, but realistically absolutely fine. Mi-24's pushing round by the water there. I'm not sure what the plan is for those, but sooner or later they're going to start getting hit by SAS. Milan 2 going for the T-72 here. Misses. Lots of shots missing for both players at the moment. Good use of smoke, though, by BottomFeeder to literally cut off the firing line of Bulba. Made him have to push his tanks really far forward to keep firing. And Mi-24 is going right around the back now, looking like they're going to try and cut off, I assume, that back point, or even the supply lines. It's a really strange thing to do in a 1v1 match in a tournament game, because one aircraft is going to deal with both of those. And I assume the Gazelle has spotted them. And there's two tractor rapiers there. There's a javelin, two javelins there, which are one's being deployed early. One javelin isn't going to deal with, there we go, Harrier. GR3 coming in to assist. It's not going to end well for these helicopters. One down. The other one taking fire from two javelins now. Good hits. It's panicked. It's stunned. Perhaps a little bit of a desperation move there by Bulba, as he wasn't sure what else to do with those. Down they go. HE Bomber now in play as well, obviously. over at this side. Not looking great for Bulba. Let's be honest, he's managed to squeeze back into the corner. Here's that HE bomber coming in. Goes down but clears that building. Lots of aircraft in for Bulba. AT jet in as well. Obviously wanting to get some kills on Challengers. The M48s are in at the moment. Obviously a lot cheaper than the Challengers. But pretty effective at clearing out infantry. And pretty effective against the other tanks in this matchup. But without any pressure anywhere else on the map, it's allowing BottomFeeder to sit and just hold. Bulba is making progress, though. I'll give him that. He is making progress here. But he's also losing a lot of stuff. I think kills to losses will certainly be in BottomFeeder's favour in this game. BMP's getting close to the buildings and being taken out by the Jaeger there. SAS still alive in this matchup at the moment. Often by this stage of the game there's a few more dead. Bulba moving stuff across the middle of the map here, taking fire from the Foxes and a Milan too. Is making progress in Lima here though. Has managed to get units in. But relying heavily on BMPs and BRM-1s. Good fire support though, as long as he keeps it distance, but the M48's obviously pretty good at dealing with them. AT jets coming in, going for the M48s. Risky business. As obviously they're not the most expensive units. And there's quite a bit of AA there, even if it is only tractor rapiers at the moment. Bulba has got a foothold here, but it's still +2 currently to BottomFeeder. 5 minutes to the victory. Bulba needs to get a command in. There is an SPW-40 command on the way. SAS moving in now to assist with the ongoing fight in this industrial area. Obviously the SAS will put up a good fight against the infantry. The reality is, Bulba's infantry aren't looking so hot though. Another squad just went down. There's one squad that is intact. There's a couple of SPW-70s in there. The biggest threat at the moment are these BMPs, which M48s are arriving now as reinforcements for BottomFeeder, and they should make short work of those BMPs. There's also that Challenger Mark II sat back here, the Command Challenger, waiting to go back in as well. Milan 2 has been moved into position to shoot anything incoming at this side. Does need a resupply though, and as I say that, the Bedford supply truck is moved up. Good hit, gets a good kill. I don't know what Bulba does here. He's got 3 minutes to make a difference, and I just don't think he has the units to do it. The command is in. That is an artillery piece. An RM-70 can be very scary, can do a lot of damage to infantry now. More so if they're out in the open, but still pretty effective against these ones in the building. Look. Force them to run out of the building. Pretty focused on one area, however. Over at this side, T-72 engaging on the M48s, but more M48s are on the scene. That T-72M may not fare very well here versus 2 M48s. It's not looking good. Milan 2 firing at it as well. Down it goes. Something was going to finish the job there. 6 minutes. The time has been extended, but Bulba is still not applying any pressure at the other side of the map. Which means that everything is concentrated here. And with BottomFeeder not having to split his forces, the reality is eventually he's just going to regain control of this point, because he simply has more here. I mean, look at all the blue. There's more tanks coming in now for Bulba, but he immediately loses that chopper to the SAS. T-72 should win out in a 1v1 fight against the M48, and it does. But there's the Challenger Mark II command moving back into that point now. Oh. That was a Jaguar HE bomber coming in that went down. Surprised BottomFeeder risked it. He has had a couple of planes, well, at least one plane shot down so far. M48 in nice positions here, managing to get shots off the Milan 2, assisting as well. T-72, very lucky, the Milan missed. A couple of buildings collapsing here as the artillery fires at that back corner. The artillery will be annoying, but won't kill the Challenger. Obviously, there's no command in there anymore for Bulba, so it's gone back to a +4. 2 minutes 30 to the victory, pretty much. Another command being called into the point for Bulba. But just look at the map right now. It's all blue. There's just so little red, and there's the surrender. I was going to say. Commiserations, Bulba. That was a rough game. Very well held by BottomFeeder. Good control. Good use of smoke early game as well, BottomFeeder. Very good use of smoke. Kills to losses, obviously a reasonable difference there, as expected. About heading towards double the kills to losses for BottomFeeder. Fox is doing well, and Milan's doing well. The M48's not doing a bad job. That Harrier did a good job, even if it went down. Nothing was getting loads of kills there. You know what I mean? There's like, everything's got a few kills, but nothing to stand out on the other side. That T-72 did a really good job. But again, everything else, a kill, maybe two for the most part. And if we just look down the kills list, you can see there's a lot more red deaths there than there were blues in the grand scheme of things. And obviously quite a few T-72s went down in all of that. Well played, guys. Congratulations to BottomFeeder. He gets both games this round. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all soon for some more WARNO.